Welcome to lesson number 3 on our rent-to-own housing program. And in this section we're going to be examining the hidden costs behind our rent-to-own program. My name is Mike Parker. I'm with Progressive Real Estate Solutions, a rent-to-own housing company based in Barrie, Ontario. Examining the hidden costs of our rent-to-own housing program. With our program, there are none. There are absolutely no hidden costs. Maybe not what you expected to see on this video. I am going to take you through an example, but again, I can assure you there are no hidden costs. You cannot rent to own for the same price as a standard rental, but I will show you where the pricing comes from. How the payments work. So you have a landlord or the investor, yourself, you want to rent to own. So as I mentioned in lesson number 1, there are 2 contracts. You have the rental side and the option side. On the rental side, you're going to have a monthly payment, your standard rental payment. Okay. On the option side, you're going to have the down payment that I mentioned on how we qualify you, the 2.5% portion, and as well you're going to have a monthly payment. This monthly payment is going to help make sure that you have your 5% down at the end of your term to make sure that you can qualify for your own financing. Okay, you will need a minimum of 5% down to qualify for your own financing at the end of the term, so this will form that credit. Looking at a pricing example on a $225,000 property today, under the option 1 side is if you were able to go out and purchase the property on your own today. So assuming you can qualify for a mortgage, you go out and get that mortgage with your bank or a mortgage broker, and here's your down payment. You're looking for the minimum of 5%, which would translate into $11,250. Your monthly cost, taking a look at your mortgage, at the time of this video, the qualifying rate was 5.19%. So I'm using an interest rate on your mortgage of 5.19% over a 25-year amortization for a total of $1,266 per month. The taxes, I forecasted at $250. It's just a rough number to use for illustration purposes. House insurance, $50 for a total of $1,566. So that's the price that if you were able to get your own financing, that's the price that you'd be paying today to purchase the property. Excuse me. On the option 2 side, if you rent to own with us today, you will need the minimum of 2.5% down or $5,625. Again, that would form part of your credit or your down payment at the end of the term, so you get that back as a credit. Your monthly costs, your rent to own lease payment, $1,535. Your rent to own credit payment, or consider it your forced savings to help make sure you have your 5% at the end of the term, would be $300 per month. And your content insurance of $20 for a total of $1,855. So there is a difference in the pricing for sure. And as I mentioned, you cannot rent to own for the same price of a standard rental. Okay. Now let's look at this cost. Let's look at it a little bit different way. On the left side of your screen, or the option 1 side, if you went out and purchased today, as I mentioned, it was $1,566. Now that was whenever you had the 5% down. On the right side of the screen, the option 2, if you rent on with us today, you only had a 2.5% down payment. So I said before, it's imperative that you have a 5% down payment credit at the end. So therefore, we had been collecting $300 per month, as I mentioned before, $300 per month to help ensure that you have your 5% down. Now keep in mind, this payment of $300 would actually ensure that you had a down payment credit of closer to 7%. So we do have some flexibility there, but I wanted to illustrate how close the payments would be. So considering your total payment minus your rent-to-own credit payment or your forced savings, your monthly payment, apples to apples, would be $1,555. So you can see that although there are no hidden costs, it does cost more along the way to make sure that you have your 5% down payment credit, but there are no hidden costs. If it makes sense, fill an application online. There's no obligation, no junk emails, and no annoying phone calls. Please visit our website, www.prores.ca, or feel free to contact us at any time. And watch for lesson number 4 on your biggest risks with renting to own.